Smog test lately. And did you get the feeling you were being ripped off? Well, you're not alone. A great many people feel that way. Some even contacted 7 on Your Side, so of course we investigated. And Michael Finney is here now with a look at the results. Michael?
Smog test. Every 2 years. It's supposed to be science, but it feels more like magic. David Copperfield would feel at home in some of these smog test places. So we went undercover to test the system, see how it works, see if it works at all.
You're going to run a test. The only way you can do it is take all 10 machines or whatever you guys are using, put them all under one service bay, stick the same probe tip into each car simultaneously, and run the test that way.
Well, people aren't going to give us their machines. But we could go to them and did. Going from smog check station to smog check station. An undercover camera recording our progress. A road trip through San Francisco and Hayward. Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, Sunnyvale, and Millbrae. Spot checking stations to see how we would be treated, to see how accurate the tests would be. And what did we find? No rip-offs, no lying, no illegal tests whatsoever. Yes, baby, yes, yes. But we did find a system seemingly so inaccurate it would be laughable if it wasn't costing us all so much. Our first stop, the State of California official referee station. We wanted an official smog reading of our test car, a 1984 Nissan Sentra, a car famous for flunking smog tests. And it flunked here. Take the carbon monoxide level. With the engine revving, it measured 6.41%, more than 5 times the legal limit of 1.20. And these are carbon monoxide readings we received from the 20 smog checks we put the car through. Some passed the state test, some did not. The highest reading we found, away from the referee station, was 3.98%. The lowest, 0.00. Usually the car flunked, but not always. This smog check station is a good example of how these numbers can fluctuate. The test car passed here.
Good.
This was the first pass we received, and it came after a full day of failed tests. How could that happen? That's what we wanted to know. We took this car right here to smog test stations all over the Bay Area, and everybody failed it but you guys. And I was wondering, how could that happen? How could that car just pass here and fail everywhere else?
The mission is okay. Let's take a look on the car.
So we did. Ferraro Gagnon is the top mechanic around here. He did the original test and stands by it. Says he only reports what the machine reads, and the machine is calibrated every 3 days.
So whatever the machine shows is not under my control.
Can we test it again?
Sure, we can do that.
Great. So 7 on Your Side paid for yet another smog test. The mechanics really went at it. We saw them do everything right. And guess what?
That's pass.
This is pass?
Yes.
This is pass right now?
Yes.
And so it was. So we asked a technician who maintains this smog check equipment to come out and see if the machines were working right. Bill Wu really knows his stuff and showed up the next day carrying a bottle of state-approved, scientifically formulated smog.
If this machine is correct, it should read the same values that's on this bottle. Okay, if you can take a look, there's our hard copy, 395 on the CO, 11.9 on the CO2, and 638 on the HC. Well, let's take a look at this bottle here. Okay, why don't you guys hold that up? Okay, the CO is 4%.
Real close.
And the CO2 is 12%.
Real close.
And the HC is 1,200 parts per million.
So we tested the car again, and guess what? This time it failed. So just what is happening here? Our state referee has a theory. It revolves around the car's carburetor and a part called a solenoid, which controls gas flow.
This could have been a fluke in which the car came in, the solenoid worked for like 2-3 minutes when they ran the test, and when the person left, that tip came off again.
If that's the case, the fluke occurred again and again. And that's not something the Bureau of Automotive Repair thinks is very likely.
Well, I can't disagree with him. He's the expert, but I'd be a little skeptical that...
So how do you explain all of this? One state official who doesn't want to be named told us sometimes even he is confused and can't figure out exactly what is happening or why. So what does all of this mean to you? Well, if you get a smog check and don't like the findings, get a second opinion. The numbers you've been given are not etched in stone. In fact, it's more like skywriting. It seems like they mean something, but they don't always last. Now, if you've got a problem and think 7 on Your Side can help, write us at 7 on Your Side, 900 Front Street, San Francisco, 94111. We'll consider your idea for a future segment.
Now, say you fail one of these tests and you go around to get that second opinion and you fail again. Can you just keep going to all these different smog checks until you find somebody who passes your car?
Well, that's what we did. We hit 6 or 7 places before we passed. Mm-hmm. We passed a couple times. We failed, passed, failed.
Right.
So if my car didn't pass, I'd take it somewhere else.
Wow. That's really fast. It must be the machines. It must be the car. It's a combination of a lot of things.
Nobody seems
bizarre.
to really...
This is wacky.
Tell me.
Oh. All right, Michael, thanks. Fascinating. Another fascinating guy, Dan Lovett, is on his way with sports.